The girl in the cell beside me stopped screaming 3 nights ago. They dragged her body out at dawn, but her eyes stayed open like she still couldn't believe how easily a life can vanish here. I didn't know her name. They take those away first, but sometimes I think I envy her. At least she doesn't have to wake up here anymore. Chapter 1. Shadow Wolf. The walls here are always wet, dripping water in slow, steady taps that match the beat of my fear. I've counted those taps for months, maybe years. There is no sun to measure time by, only darkness and iron, and the smell of blood that never washes away. I don't have any memories of who I was before. All I know is I wasn't always here. Down here is where they keep the ones they want to break. The guards call me Shadow Wolf, like my wolf is a curse. They never use my real name. After a while, I stopped remembering it myself. The iron cuffs around my wrists burn my skin when I shift too close to the surface. They want to stop the wolf inside me from rising. Heavy bootsteps clank against stone. My throat tightens. They're coming. No hiding today, Shadow, one guard says, unlocking my cell. Time to see what the beast in you has learned. They drag me to the hunting room, a long table with dark stains, shackles hanging from the ceiling, silver tools laid out too sharp, too polished. Garen grabs the iron mask and presses it against my face. I hiss as silver burns across my cheek. There it is, the monster waking up. The brand touches my side and the world explodes. Black mist erupts under my skin. My bones snap and pull, trying to shift. My wolf thrashes furious. She wants blood. She wants freedom. She wants revenge. Not yet, Garen snaps, shoving wolfsbane cloth against my mouth. You will shift when we tell you to. When it's over, they drag me back to my cell like a broken animal. But then I hear a soft voice from across the corridor. Hey, Shadow. You still breathing? The only reprieve I have in this place is the little boy across from me. He can't be more than 7 years old. In a place built to kill the strongest wolves. I've started feeling protective of him. Like if I can keep him alive, maybe the world isn't as cruel as it seems. I always give him some of my food. In return, he gives me stories and smiles and hope I don't want. Every day after they drag me back, he sits by his bars and sings to me. His voice is small but steady, like a candle refusing to blow out. I've never seen him sad, not once, even after his cleansing. You should sleep, I whisper, voice raw. You need rest. He wrinkles his nose. You need it more. You look like you got hit by a horse. A broken laugh escapes me, the first in months. Did they hurt you today? I ask. He shrugs like pain means nothing. Only a little. I went to my happy place. I swallow hard. You shouldn't have to do that. But you helped me, he whispers. You saved me. I haven't saved anyone. You gave me food when I was hungry. You talk to me when I'm scared. You make sure I sleep first. My chest tightens painfully. I slide closer to the bars. As long as I'm still breathing, nothing is going to hurt you. Do you understand? I won't let them. His lip trembles. He presses his small hand toward me between the bars. I reach out, covering his fingers with mine. He's warm, soft, human, in a place trying to make us animals. You're my big wolf, he whispers. And you're my little one. Now sleep. Only when his breathing softens do I release him. Only then do I let myself feel the fear, because I don't know how much longer I can protect him. Chapter 2. The Alpha King. The next morning, guards come for the boy. They grab him, jerking him forward so hard his feet barely touch the ground. No, please take me, I shout, gripping the bars. They ignore me. Hours later, his screams suddenly stop. When they return him, they throw his small body onto the stone. He doesn't move at first. My heart shatters. Little wolf, I whisper, fingers trembling. A thin breath escapes his lips. He curls into himself, shaking violently. I'm here. I'm still here. Then bootsteps return. They unlock my cell, not to drag me to torture, but to add heavier chains. Thick, silver cuffs clamp around my wrists and ankles, tighter than before. Fresh wolfsbane smeared on the metal makes me gasp. When they move to the boy's cell, I lunge toward the bars. "He just came back! Leave him alone!" A guard grabs me by the hair and yanks my head back. "Quiet! You'll speak when commanded." Cell after cell opens. Wolves shuffle out. Young, old, broken, barely alive. Dozens of us, all chained, all shaking. They herd us down a corridor into a massive hall. A throne room carved from black stone, lit by towering torches. And sitting on the throne is her, the Luna. The moment I look at her, white-hot pain explodes in my skull. I gasp, clutching the little boy as memories slam into me without warning. Her face, but softer, gentle. We're in a bright room. She stands behind me, weaving ribbons through my hair, humming. "You look beautiful, Luna," she tells me, smiling at my reflection. A woman who cared for me, who dressed me, who called me Luna. My breath fractures because I remember her. In my memory, she was soft and kind. Now she looks at me like she wants to watch the light leave my eyes. Her gaze slides over everyone until it finds me. Then the boy in my arms. Her lips curl. Well, I suppose some things just can't be forgotten. A chill runs through me. She knows us. She knows me. A guard bursts into the hall, chest heaving. "The Alpha King is here!" Everything stops. The Luna's face drains of color. She shoots to her feet, panicked. "What is he doing here? He wasn't supposed to return yet." Her gaze flicks to me, to the boy. "Take those two away. Now!" But before the guards can move, the heavy doors slam open. He walks in, the Alpha King. The room shifts around him. Power radiates from him in storm winds. He stands tall and broad-shouldered, dressed in deep obsidian armor. His eyes sweep the hall, cold, calculating, dangerously alive. Then his gaze freezes on me. On us. His entire body goes rigid. His nostrils flare. "Move," he says to the guard blocking us, voice carved from pure dominance. The guard scrambles aside. The Alpha King takes one step toward us, then another, his eyes locked on mine, burning, desperate, disbelieving. "Layara," he breathes. The name hits me like a punch. "Layara, is that me?" His hand rises, trembling, and he touches my cheek like he's afraid I'll vanish. "How? Is that really you? Gods, I thought I lost you forever." Then his gaze drops to the little boy clinging to my side. Their eyes, matching, collide. The Alpha King sucks in a breath. "Ren. My son. My boy." He pulls us both against his chest. Too tight, too fierce, like he's terrified the world will rip us away again. I freeze in his grip, heart thundering. His warmth feels like home I shouldn't remember. Over his shoulder, the Luna glides forward, smile soft and trembling. "Your Majesty, we found them here in this fortress. The Blue Moon Pack recently fell to our forces. I had no idea they were hiding wolves who disappeared over the years, including Layara and Ren." She presses a hand to her chest. "I was just as shocked as you are. I was merely ordering the guards to wash them clean so you wouldn't see them in such a state." The Alpha King doesn't look at her. He only looks at us. Then his eyes register the bruises, the cuts, the burns. His expression changes. A deep, guttural growl tears from his chest, the kind that shakes walls and freezes blood. "Who dared to lay their filthy hands on my wife and my son?" Every wolf drops to their knees. Some tremble, some whimper. None dare breathe. The Luna flinches, but recovers quickly. "Your Majesty, why don't we get them cleaned up first? Their health is more important than answers." She reaches for Ren. "I will take them home." But Ren jerks away from her touch, panic exploding across his tiny face. He buries himself deeper into my arms, shaking violently. The king sees it. His wolf surges. His eyes flare gold. You will not touch them. His voice is razor-sharp dominance. He turns, slightly shielding us with his body. I will take them home. For the first time since he entered, he looks at the Luna. Really looks. And you will truthfully explain to me why my mate and my heir were found in chains. The Alpha King adjusts Ren in one arm and sweeps me up with the other. He holds us like we belong there, like we always have. He turns toward the doors, but then he pauses, slow, deadly. His gaze locks onto the guard who grabbed my hair earlier. You touched my mate. The guard barely has time to inhale before the king moves. A blur of silver and shadow. A sickening crack. The guard drops. Neck snapped clean. Silence swallows the hall. The king's voice rumbles through the terrified wolves. Unchain every prisoner in this fortress. Now! He looks down at me, at Ren. The world will never be the same. He strides toward the doors, carrying us with him out of the darkness. Chapter 3. Coming home. The carriage clattered down the path toward the castle. Ren slept in my lap, small hands curled into my torn clothes. The Alpha King sat across from us, his eyes never straying. Don't call me Alpha, he said quietly. Only Roden, please. The simple request made something twist inside my chest. He told me everything. You were my Luna, my beloved. His voice cracked. And Ren. His eyes softened. Our son. My son. The air left my lungs. The little boy I protected was mine. He was home. Tears slipped down my cheeks. I brushed a curl from Ren's forehead with shaking fingers, terrified this was another cruel trick. How? How did we end up there? Roden swallowed hard. You were taken years ago. The Blue Moon Pack stole you from under our guard's protection. We searched until there was nothing left to burn or bleed. Then, about a year later, they came back for Ren, too. My stomach dropped. Neither of us remembered being taken. We believe someone from within our own ranks betrayed you. And seeing the Luna there makes me believe she might be the one. My mind spun. Who is she? And how is she Luna now? Roden finally looked away, anger storming across his expression. Lysandra, your closest friend, the one you trusted most. The name felt like ice, familiar and hateful. When the council demanded I name a new Luna, I refused. I waited for you. His gaze returned to me, burning. I would have waited forever. Then why her? He shut his eyes. Because she vowed to raise Ren as her own, should you never come home. But of course he was taken too. My heart cracked. She vowed to protect him, but she was there watching him broken. Layara, Roden's voice dropped to a whisper. Do you truly remember nothing? Not me, not Ren, not your life? I swallowed. There are flashes, moments, a hand in my hair, ribbons, sunlight, but they're like smoke. He leaned forward, fists trembling. What did they do to you? I forced myself to breathe. They called it cleansing. They chained me, burned me, forced silver into my skin whenever my wolf tried to surface. They beat Ren when I refused to comply. My throat closed. They wanted obedience, silence, fear. Then a memory fragment hit me, a guard's voice. We need her obedient before the Luna returns. My breath stuttered. That guard said I had to be obedient for the Luna. Roden went still, his wolf surging. This confirms it. She took you. I hugged Ren closer. We don't know that. Don't do anything rash. Roden's jaw flexed. They must have used something to suppress your memories. Magic, wolfsbane, trauma. All three, perhaps. But they did not break you. I feel your wolf. You are still in there. I wanted his words to anchor me, but doubt clawed at my ribs. If I was once strong, why couldn't I fight them? He sat beside me then, brushing his fingers against my cheek. Soft, slow, reverent. You survived what no one else has. Strength isn't never falling, Layara. It's rising again, even when everything in you is broken. Something warm spread through my chest. Now, whoever betrayed us, whoever orchestrated your disappearance, his eyes darkened into something terrifying. I will find them. The carriage rolled to a stop. We start over, he promised, extending his hand. Together. I took his hand. Not because I remembered him, but because I wanted to believe I could learn how to be whole again. Chapter 4. The Truth Stone. The castle loomed like a memory I couldn't access. Servants gathered, some gasping, some weeping. One voice broke through, a healer with silver hair and moss-green eyes. Oh, stars preserve us? Her fingers hovered above my burned wrists. Who did this to you? I opened my mouth, but no name came. Only screams, only fire. I don't know. The healer cleaned our wounds slowly, carefully, but even her gentleness sent shocks of remembered agony up my arms. Roden noticed the panic rising behind my eyes. You do not have to force the memories. We have time. But did we? Because behind us, beyond the doors, I could almost feel her watching. Lysandra. The next few days passed in quiet routines. Wren and I visited the infirmary every morning. The healer examined my scars. In a month, the wolfsbane and silver should be flushed from your system. Then your wolf will rise again. When I asked about the memories, she shook her head. I don't know what was used on you. Magic that old leaves no visible trail. I cannot restore what was taken. Roden spent most hours locked behind council doors, trying to convince wolves who preferred comfortable lies. They didn't believe Lysandra was involved. What did she gain? A title, a crown. But Luna wasn't guaranteed. If I died or disappeared, tradition didn't dictate a friend would replace me. Luna was chosen through bloodline and fate, usually reserved for high-ranking she-wolves. And Lysandra, she was nearly an Omega. Omega women don't rise to queens unless something drastic shifts. Had she known I'd disappear? Or had she helped make it happen? Wren crawled into my lap one afternoon. Mama, look, birds. The title hit me every time. We talked about everything light and harmless. We laughed loudly, freely, but neither of us ever talked about the fortress, the screaming, the chains. Some wounds are too fresh to touch. Then one evening, Roden came to our chambers, shoulders heavy, eyes dimmed. The council refused to recognize you as Luna. My blood ran cold. What? Why? They're claiming you ran away, that you chose to leave, that you abandoned Wren and me. His voice broke. Willingly. I stared at him horrified. I wouldn't. I would never. My throat closed. I didn't remember. I didn't know anything. I know, he said, voice raw. I waited for the rest. They're saying you had a lover. The floor tilted beneath me. I opened my mouth to deny. It instantly. But the words died when I realized I didn't remember. I would never have had Wren if I didn't love you, I whispered. Whatever else they think I did, that part is real. Roden's eyes glimmered with heartbreak. When will this judgment happen? Tomorrow night, he said, before the full council. He hesitated. And Layara, they want you to prove your innocence with the Truth Stone. A chill rushed down my spine. What is that? The Truth Stone forces honesty. If you lie, even by accident, it burns red. And even if you tell the truth, it still causes pain. My eyes burned. When a question is asked, it burrows into your mind, into the deepest memories. It forces them to the surface. I survived a place meant to destroy me, I said, fingers curling into his shirt. I can survive this too. He pressed his forehead to mine. I'm not afraid you'll fail. I'm afraid of what remembering might do to you. I closed my eyes because that was the part I feared too. But living without my memories isn't living at all. Chapter 5. The Council. The council chamber was designed to intimidate. Black obsidian stone, silver torches, shadows that wanted to devour anyone foolish enough to lie. 9 council members sat in thrones carved from wolf bone and iron. Their expressions ranged from suspicious to openly hostile. And then her eyes. Lysandra sat near the center, her gown shimmering icy blue, jeweled crown gleaming. When her gaze met mine, she smirked, small, sharp, like a dagger. We sat. Silence stretched until Lysandra rose abruptly, placing a dramatic hand over her heart. Layara, you were my dear friend, and I know I promised to keep your secret, but I have grown to care for the Alpha. I can't keep lying anymore. My stomach twisted. When you left with your lover that day, I didn't tell anyone, but I never thought you would involve Ren. To inject yourself with those substances, to torture him, then pretend you can't remember any of it. Her voice dripped poison. I'm sorry, my dear friend. I can't keep lying for you. Rodin stood so violently his chair slammed backward. Lies! Every single word! Lysandra tilted her head. Your Majesty, if I am lying and she is telling the truth, the stone will reveal that. My heart hammered. She was lying. But why? Punishment for false accusations was banishment. So why take such a risk if the truth stone would clear me instantly? Unless she believed something worse would happen to me first. A chill carved down my spine. Let's begin, I said. I am ready to clear myself of all falsehoods. Lysandra smiled like she'd already won. They led me to the center, a circular platform with the truth stone at its center. A jagged crystal the size of a wolf's skull, black glass threaded with veins of molten silver. A man stepped forward, his features resembling Lysandra's so clearly it made my stomach twist. Family. I will ask you 3 questions. You will answer truthfully. Do you understand? I nodded. Yes. He placed his hand on the truth stone. The world shifted. Silver veins shot up the crystal. A force slammed into my skull, invasive and violent, digging through me like claws. I screamed, Did you leave the palace willingly years ago? The stone ripped my consciousness backward. A memory flickered. I was running from the palace gates, breathless, shaking, terrified. The only way to save Ren is to go. Yes, I cried. Gasps rippled through the chamber. Lysandra's smile sharpened. Did you do it for love? A new memory slammed through me. I was on my knees, begging, screaming. Please, take me instead. Just keep my son safe. Love? Yes. But not the kind they were implying. Yes, I forced out, voice cracking. The council murmured. Lysandra placed a hand over her lips. No, I tried to add. Not that kind of love. Agony exploded before I could finish. The truth stone didn't allow explanations. Only answers. If you could go back in time, would you do it again? My heartbeat faltered. If Ren's life were in danger again, there wasn't a choice. Yes. The truth resonated in the air like thunder. I collapsed to my knees. Silence. Then whispers. She admitted it. She left willingly for another man. I looked up, dizzy, furious. I did it to save Ren. But my voice was drowned beneath rising chaos. Out of respect for the Alpha King and the former Luna, we will sit on this decision, the eldest counselor said. Then, guards, take her to the dungeons. Chains clanked. Hands grabbed my arms. Rodin roared my name like a man being skinned alive. But I was already being dragged away. Chapter 6. The Memory. I sat in the dungeon hugging my knees. How had everything gone so wrong? Why had the stone shown me leaving willingly? Then a voice, sharp and familiar, slid through the dark. Well, well, look at you. Lysandra stepped from the shadows, her beauty poisonous. Look at what you've become. Once Luna, now a pitiful creature in chains. What do you want? I hissed. She laughed. To see you break. You're desperate to know what really happened, aren't you? I'll grant you that because I want to watch the moment it all comes flooding back. She snapped her fingers. Strange, shimmering powder filled the air, silver flecks catching the torchlight. It burned when I breathed it in. Remember, she whispered. Pain exploded behind my eyes. Then the memories came, the happy ones first. Roden's smile, Wren's birth, Lysandra's laughter as she helped me braid my hair, afternoons in the garden. She had been my closest friend, but then the light twisted. The night of the ball. I hadn't planned to attend. Wren had a fever. Lysandra entered the room. Go, Layara, have fun. I'll stay with him. I shook my head. He's burning up. You're Luna. People will talk if you're not by Roden's side. I finally agreed, but I never reached the ballroom. Something struck the back of my head. The world went black. When I woke, my wrists were bound. Lysandra stood over me, her face twisted into something monstrous. Lysandra, what are you doing? She laughed cold and hollow. Did you really think I was loyal to you? The perfect Luna with a king who worships you. Why? I've never done anything to you. You exist. That's reason enough. She smiled. I've poisoned Wren. If you want the antidote, you'll leave the palace willingly tonight and tell no one. Terror rooted me in place. You're lying. Then take a gamble on your son's life. Tears blurred my sight. How do I know you'll give him the antidote? She raised a knife, slicing her palm open. Then she took my hand, cut it too, and pressed our wounds together. By the moon, she vowed, I will not kill you or Wren as long as you leave the palace now and forever. A blood oath. Unbreakable. Fatal if betrayed. So I left that same night, barefoot, silent, terrified. But after I passed through the gates, shadows lunged from the trees. Wolves reeking of wolfsbane dragged me away, screaming. When I woke again, I was in that cursed fortress. The memory shattered. I gasped as the dungeon returned. Lysandra stood above me, watching with cruel delight. There it is. That's the look I wanted. I lunged at her. You did all this just to be Luna? Of course. But it wasn't enough. After you were gone, Roden swore he'd never touch another woman. So I took Wren. I thought if he lost his heir, he'd realize he had to produce one with me. I froze. He never did he? Her eyes flashed with anger. No, he's too stubborn, too obsessed with you. But why torture me? Why erase my memory? You already won. Because I needed you broken, so your wolf wouldn't call to his, so you'd forget why you had a reason to fight. I stared at her, fury tangling inside me. And now you'll be gone for good. The last question, whether you'd do it again, was planned. You said yes. That means no remorse. Even if Roden pleads, he can't argue. Her laughter echoed through the dungeon. Then she turned, walking back into the shadows. I stood there, breathless, trembling, my memories burning through me like wildfire. She thought she'd broken me. She thought she'd won. But for the first time since I woke in that fortress, my wolf stirred inside me, whispering one word through the dark. Fight. Chapter 7. The Luna rises. I woke to a ruckus, shouts and clanging iron. Roden's voice cut through it all, raw and ragged. Guards hauled me upright. My legs felt like lead. But when I saw Roden, when I saw Wren, my heart did something I hadn't felt since I woke in that cursed place. Wren barreled forward, throwing himself into my arms. Mama! I laughed then, an awful, bright sound. He clung to me, and for a moment the world narrowed to just us. The High Chancellor rose. Out of respect to the Alpha, We will not cast her out this instant. She will be escorted from the palace properly. I bolted across the chamber and kissed Roden hard, because I needed to memorize the feel of him. He wrapped his arms around me. I will find you. I will not lose you again. Then Lyssandra's voice cut through like a blade. Where do you think you are going with the heir? The words dropped into me like ice. You can't take him, I said. You were banished, not the heir. Leave him. A guard's hand closed over Ren's small shoulder. He gripped me with both hands. Mama, he whimpered. Lysandra stepped forward and took him as if he were an object. Do not worry, he is in good hands. Everything inside me went crimson. My wolf woke. It was a slow, terrible rising. Heat flooded my limbs. My vision narrowed to Ren's face, Lysandra's hand. I felt the wolf coil in my throat and unspool into terror and rage. My eyes flared bright and impossible. The sound that came out of me was not all human, a roar that hit the rafters, that made candles gutter and the court gasp. God seize her, Lysandra hissed, but the room had shifted. I was now a living, undeniable power. Nobody dared challenge me. The guards, the maids, the council members, they bowed. Even Roden stepped close, not to restrain, but to stand beside me. I moved. I grabbed Lysandra's wrist and wrenched the truth stone from its place. I held it up like a standard. Bring the stone to the stand. Hands fumbled. Bodies obeyed. I dragged Lysandra with it, pushing her toward the platform. Stand, I said. I set the stone to her temple. It thrummed against bone. Did you or did you not threaten Ren's life to force me to leave the palace willingly? The stone dragged the answer out of her. She screamed, Yes! Yes, I did. Please stop. Did you or did you not send the Blue Moon Pack to capture and torture me and anyone who opposed you? She doubled over. Yes, yes, please, it hurts. I did. Did you do all this out of jealousy and to claim the throne for yourself? She tried to answer with lies. The stone flared angrily. Answer! Yes, yes. I wanted it. I wanted him. I wanted the throne. I thought if you were gone, he'd come to me. Her confession spilled out in ragged bursts. I stepped back, letting the truth settle like ash. Then I turned and addressed the room. You heard her. She threatened my son. She sent wolves to break us. She poisoned my life. All those screams you ignored, she ordered them. Shock rippled through the crowd. Guards, take her, I commanded. They seized her. Roden stepped forward and placed his hand on my shoulder, not to hold me back, but to hold me steady. As they dragged Lysandra away, her eyes locked on mine one last time. Venom, then hollow panic. Ren buried his face in my neck. Roden lifted him and pressed a kiss to his crown, then set him back in my arms. The truth stone lay humming. The council could no longer spin lies. Outside 100 whispers began the spread of a single sentence. The Luna remembered. The wolf woke. Lysandra will pay. And in the echo of that sentence I felt hope, freedom, and love all at once.